Welcome to Formula World. I'm your host Dylan Shelley, and here's what's on this episode. First up on Formula World, Honda are far ahead of Ferrari. When Red Bull made a switch from Renault to Honda for their engine needs, many in F1 saw that as a huge risk, but the partnership proved to be fruitful as they were able to achieve third place in both the Constructors and Drivers' Championship. And if words of Mercedes head of engine development Andy Cowell are to be believed, then Honda are developing their engine at a much more rapid pace than even Ferrari. Honda is the manufacturer that has developed the most this year. They are far ahead of Ferrari when it comes to their level of development. Honda got their first win in 2019 since returning to the sport as an engine supplier, and would be hoping to add more to that tally, and it seems that the people at Mercedes are expecting the Red Bull-Honda partnership to be their closest competitors as opposed to Ferrari. Verstappen, Hamilton is not God. Many of his peers in the past have echoed the sentiment that Hamilton is nigh unbeatable on his day, but Red Bull's Max Verstappen believes that he isn't invincible. Lewis is very good. He is definitely one of the best out there, but he's not God. Maybe God is with him, but he is not God. He wants to take the fight to Hamilton, but he has also alluded to the fact that success in F1 is highly dependent upon the car. We really want to mount a challenge to especially Mercedes, and I think we can do that. It's very car dependent, of course, in Formula 1. I'm very much looking forward to it. Everybody's fired up and everybody's very motivated. Coming off last year, at the end, we were very competitive. What differentiated Senna and Prost? Many consider the Senna-Prost rivalry to be one of the best F1 has ever witnessed, and one of the possible reasons behind it has often been cited as the polar opposite nature of both men. Fellow former world champion Damon Hill had the rare opportunity of being a teammate to both men and offered his insight onto what differentiated the two. Alain very quietly got on with things. He played very gently with things. He got on with his job and he basically ran out there and did laps, learned about the car, found a balance, found what he wanted. As a teammate, he was very charming and polite and everything. Senna, on the other hand, was famous for being intense and aggressive, and Hill corroborated that by saying, with Ayrton, he was a little bit more difficult to get to know. He was a big name and a star, quite formal, I would say, and intense. He often had a frown on his face. He was learning about Williams, a different team for the first time in a long time. He looked concerned the whole time, I'd say even worried. But he was fine with me. Slightly suspicious of me maybe, I don't know. Not that he had to be. Fast feed. Jack Aitken, who recently left Renault, will become the reserve driver at Williams, calling the opportunity a great honour. Regarding coronavirus, Christian Horner feels that the people in charge will do their homework very thoroughly in this case and make the right decision. Damon Hill feels the best drivers should have the best cars as that leads to the most intense Formula 1 racing. F1 will stick with the 18-inch wheels as the first feedback from 18-inch tyres is quite good. McLaren team principal Andreas Seidel is expecting a hard fight for fourth place again in 2020. And Fernando Alonso has rubbished claims that he was selfish, explaining he used to share his prize bonus money with his mechanics. Will Red Bull be able to compete with Mercedes this year? Be sure to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.